He's not only been asked to vacate his palace behind the Windsor walls, he's already planning his next one, or two. Across the manicured grounds of Royal Lodge, the second son of a sovereign, once active and celebrated, now stands at the edge of his privilege, negotiating its terms. But he does not move without conditions. He demands two homes, and one of them is the very house once occupied by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. To grasp the full weight of this negotiation, we must visualize the lodgings. Royal Lodge, 30-plus rooms, sprawling gardens, the kind of residence reserved for royalty, hosting state visits and charity balls. A place once alive with public duty, now quiet. Within its walls sits the man formerly known as the Duke of York, hanging on to residence as public titles fade. Then there is Frogmore Cottage, the home gifted to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle by Queen Elizabeth II, renovated and cherished, then relinquished. A modest by royal standards house, yes, but rich in symbolism, a gesture of new life, of modern royals in waiting, a home now proposed as refuge for the embattled prince's next chapter. These two residences mark not only geography, but also meaning. Royal Lodge, a fortress of history, of entitlement, still unshaken despite scandal. Frogmore Cottage, a symbol of the future, of change, of departure. For the prince to seek both is to straddle the old guard and the new agenda. The reminder that in royal architecture, nothing is neutral. He is weaving his retreat through the legacy of two very different eras of the monarchy. Behind the public facade, the palace corridors whisper, King Charles III is done with holding the line. The reports say he consents. More than that, he expects the lease to end. The Crown Estate, the lawyers, the estate agents all align. The question is no longer whether the prince will leave Royal Lodge, but how and where he goes next. And his reply is bold. Not an exit, a transaction. Two houses, security, scope, a replacement in waiting. The first to maintain status, the second to step quietly into retirement while still under the Crown's umbrella. This is not a fall from grace, it is a negotiation of retention. The irony stings. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle gave up royal funding, patronages, and a British residence in pursuit of freedom abroad. Their forfeited UK home now floats in the prospectus of royalty, remaining firmly inside. When one couple announced, "We're out," another is about to announce, "We're staying, on our terms." In this light, the story is no longer about Andrew's mistakes, though they loom large, but about the monarchy's tolerance for them, about how much comfort can remain when public duty has vanished, about where the line is drawn between exile and entitlement. Sarah Ferguson remains part of the tableau. The former Duchess of York continues to live at Royal Lodge, a silent partner to the residence's reputation. If Andrew moves to two homes, does she relocate too? Or does this negotiation silently include her? Her presence complicates the optics. She has no official title, yet she remains enveloped by privilege. The new homes become not just Andrew's escape, but a co-residence fortress. And where exactly is his second home? Sources suggest Scotland, remote, discreet, royal, but removed from London's glare. A retreat, they say, rather than a palace, but it too is a refuge of rank, not reinvention. For the man who once served his country as a naval officer, who once represented the monarchy abroad, this appears less like retirement and more like reservation. Across the monarchy, the watches tick slower. The handwritten letters of decades past are now replaced by email threads and budget memos. But the message remains. Relevance must now be earned. Duty must now be visible. Yet residence seems less tethered to duty than ever. Perhaps the true question is, can a royal home become a reward independent of role? Public patience wears thin. The idea that a prince under heavy cloud of scandal remains inside royal walls while others depart voluntarily has generated unease. When a family called the Firm attempts to modernize, to slim down, to align with the public moment, one house and one demand can undo years of reform talk. Meanwhile, Andrew's lawyers, his estate planners, his advisors, they count rooms, negotiate leases, secure terms. For a man stripped of public office but sustained by private privilege, the property becomes the case. The location becomes the statement. He is not homeless, he is not silent, he is not surrendering. And so the gaze turns to what comes next. Will the palace draw the line and terminate the lease outright? Will Parliament intervene? Will public pressure force a move that appears less like relocation and more like expulsion? Or will a deal be struck? 2 homes, one for status, one for retreat, and the prince quietly disappear into residence, not relevance. Ultimately, the story of where Andrew lives becomes the story of what the monarchy tolerates, and that may matter more than any title he gives up, because homes are long-term, titles are symbolic. The man may no longer carry honors, but he demands roofs. He stands at the front door of a new era, holding 2 keys, asking for 2 houses, and asking us to believe it's merely a request. But in the hush of Windsor's grounds, the kingdom watches, not for his apology, not for his statement, but for his suitcase and his footprint, leaving or remaining behind. And when the gates finally close for him, or perhaps open again, what will they say about the crown, about occupancy, about right to belong? The next residence may be a house, but the story is about power. And if the highest walls of Windsor can still shelter the unwanted, what does that say about change at the heart of the monarchy? The mansion, the negotiations, the titles relinquished, none of it ends the question. How long can a roof protect when everything beneath it is cracked?